I'm Alexa Schwerha with Campus Reform, and you're watching 5 Big Questions. Today I am joined here in person by a freshman at George Mason University, John Jennings, who is running for student body president. John is majoring in public administration, and through his work on the campaign, has been facing some pretty significant backlash from leftist peers. Here to tell us his story and talk more about the race is John himself. John, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. So just to start us off, let's jump into why you decided to run in the first place. What are some of your campaign principles and what do you want to do at George Mason University?
Yeah, so the reason I ran for student body president at Mason is because the student government at Mason is very ineffective. I ran for student senate in the fall. I was really pumped to help out my Mason community. And I was in there for around a month and not a lot was getting done. I was trying to advocate for more fiscal reasoning in the budget or just fair questions in debates. And I was one voice out of 40 to actually advocate for these changes and nothing was getting done. And I was thinking this is a waste of my time. So I resigned. And I worked on political campaigns in the fall, just minding my own business. And then I got a call, I believe it was in February, from my friend Noah, and he said, "John, you should run." And I was thinking, no, I'm a freshman, this is impossible. And he goes, "No, a lot of people, we need someone to actually run because you can do it, you can win." And I was thinking, wow, I really want to help my Mason community more because Mason deserves someone who's going to advocate for the needs of the students. And our platform is very, very common sense stuff that we can deliver. One of our main things is this thing called a dead week. It's the week before finals where you have no assignments because in the fall, I remember it was on a Wednesday and I had 2 papers due and a final on the same day of class. And I was thinking, this is ridiculous. So basically what it would require is if they're going to assign a final paper, they can do that, but it has to be the week before your final. So it just allows you a little bit of breathing room for the mental health of the students. And we want to also invest in our athletics a lot more. Our school spirits, it's very, very dead at Mason, and I like school spirit. We had one tailgate, and it was great, but it was only one. So we want to have a lot more tailgates at Mason and really just drive out school spirit. So.
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good platform, something that, I wish was invested more when I was in school. Definitely would have liked a candidate who was advocating for more school spirit. Don't see really what's wrong with that. But there has been some pushback to your campaign, and here at the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, we cover liberal bias on college campuses, and specifically there seems to be a lot in the student government. So why do you think that students might be a little upset to see a conservative such as yourself running for student government?
I think the reason they're upset is because they don't like diversity of thought. They say they want to be a student government representing all students. Representing all students means to represent all students, all voices, regardless whether or not you agree with them. When I was running for student body president, as I still am, I reached out to the college Republicans, the college Democrats, the Democratic Socialists. I reached out to everyone. Also TPUSA. I didn't hear back from the college Democrats. I didn't hear back from the Democratic Socialists, which was sad. Because honestly, that's what we need. But my other opponents, what they did was they only reached out to those people, and then they got endorsed by them, of course, because they're very left-leaning. And then they come out and say, "I want to be a voice for all students." Well, no, you're not. That's performative leadership, not actual leadership, which is again what Mason needs.
We saw a similar story happen down at the University of Houston. I myself was interviewing a candidate for their student government, and they said they didn't believe in diversity of opinion and that conservatives actually had no place in student government. So these accusations against you being, pro-life, of, all your conservative principles, they've been mostly to an online platform on Instagram. There is an account out that just promotes your conservative values. It talks about tweets you've liked, but has anything actually translated to campus?
Nothing has translated to campus that wasn't already there. And when someone comes up and asks me, "Is this what you believe?" and I go, "Yes, that is my personal belief. I'm not going to not stand up for what I believe. That's just wrong. That's not who I am. However, I'm not going to silence your opinion, which is what the left does and which is what they're doing to me. I'm not going to do that to you. What I want to do is I want to have roundtable discussions. I want to bring our leaders to campus so we can ask them the tough questions. I want to have a debate between pro-life and pro-choice advocates and leaders to really have these discussions because conversations and discussions is what actually solves problems and creates solutions."
Yeah, more freedom of speech, more intellectual conversations, which is supposed to be the point of college anyway. Students go to college to learn something they didn't know before, and you get that by talking to people who have a lot of different opinions and a lot of different, perspectives and mindsets. So to kind of go on to that, do you think this has anything to do with this rising concern of free speech on college campus?
I 100% think it does. I think college campuses should be a place where people can advocate for their opinions, regardless of what they are, and then take that and talk to people who you disagree with and understand where they're coming from. And it's sad because we have a right to free speech, and it's honestly, it's going down a very, very dark road. I mean, I'm concerned for my future generation, because if I'm scared to speak up, or not just me, but like if others are scared to speak up, that's very, very dark road, because once people can control what you say, it goes very bad from there.
Yeah, it seems like Big Brother is always watching you. We talk a lot about big tech and all of that. But to draw it back to the campaign, I have one final question for you. What is your advice, or what would you say to conservative students on other campuses who might be thinking about taking a role in government but aren't sure if they have what it takes?
You have an army behind you that you don't even know you have. I have my friends, of course, who are sticking with me through all the hate that I'm getting. However, I will be at Chipotle on campus and some guy will come up to be like, hey, thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm voting for you. I've been wanting someone to stand up for my beliefs for so long. And that, I mean, it just gets me for a hot second, because I'm like, I'm a freshman, you guys. I'm really just trying to help you all out. And what I say is, you think you can't do it, I promise you there is something in you that allows you to do it, and you can stand up for what you believe in. Anyone can do that.
Right, courage and conviction. We need a lot more of it from students on college campuses. Well, John, thank you so much for coming on today and breaking down your platform.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.